Hello and welcome to the final episode of our day today. Dad, we're very excited about this. I'm Patrick.
I'm Kevin, and this is 8 of 8.
8 of 8. Our 8th episode of the day, folks. Father and Son Pastime podcast has been recording. It is dark out. Remember, I told people at the beginning of the day, there would be no reflection in these glasses anymore. The sun has set. It is 6 o'clock here on the East Coast, and we are midway through our top 50 free agent predictions. Yeah. It's a little contest my dad and I do every year. We've been doing it since I was a wee lad, whenever MLB Trade Rumors.com came out. Yeah. And we just did our top 20 with those predictions. That show has been uploaded at this point. This is candidates 21 through 50. There's going to be a couple honorable mentions in there, folks, because people like Raciel Iglesias and Gleyber Torres have signed, as well as some people in the front half of the show. So we have our own honorable mentions to talk about at the end as well. Dad, again, if you people at home are just somehow tuning in, you know what? Don't just watch this. Watch the first half. We go over so many things and the rules and the contest and the bet. Go watch that. We're going to jump into our people that know us, our subscribers at this point. We're at Brad Keller, Dad. We're going to have you kick us off, and then I'll go, and we'll keep on going back and forth. Who do you have? Reliever of the year, maybe? Brad Keller going to.
Oh, if you talk to the Cubs, they had him as one of the MVPs of the Cubs this year because he was very good. Signed as, a minor league free agent. Also made opening day roster, and the rest was history. I have him going to Atlanta. Mm-hmm. And I think Atlanta wants him as a starter, and I think he wants to go back to being a starter, and getting starter money and everything. So I have him going to Atlanta.
Atlanta's on the board, as is every other team.
Yeah.
Everyone could use a Brad Keller, a great reliever, a swingman, 4th, 5th starter. It's very interesting. We didn't plan this out this way. My first pick of the last draft, and the number 1 pick, Kyle Tucker, I chose the Dodgers. First pick of this part of the draft, or this part of the prediction show, I have Brad Keller going to the Dodgers.
You know what? That's a great pick.
They need help in the bullpen. I think he stays in the bullpen. I don't think closer role, but I do think solidifies like a 6-7 guy.
That's a great pick.
And their starters don't go deep outside Yamamoto, right?
And they're going to be in the playoffs.
Yep. And if you're Brad Keller, you want a winning team.
Okay.
Dad, Lucas Giolito, unique situation. Good righty, spent obviously a lot of time of his career in Chicago, then bounced around between the Angels and Cleveland, gets hurt with Boston. Mm-hmm. They seem to let him go, no qualifying offer attached. I have him going, first time this team's been mentioned this prediction show, to the Washington Nationals, a little reunion. My thoughts on that is they need front-end pitching. I don't think they're going to afford some of the bigger names that we've already discussed in the front half of the show. So I have the Washington Nationals giving Giolito a chance. There has been some injury history there. He's not going to be the big earners, like I said in the first half of the show. But he might get a 2-year deal, kind of what he got with Boston, maybe a third-year option. And a lot of teams are going to be able to afford a Giolito, and I think the Nationals realize they need pitching.
Well, he's staying in the Mid-Atlantic area.
Okay. Oh, he's going to the Cubs. You're taking the Cubs?
No, Orioles.
Oh, okay. I heard Midwest and not Mid-Atlantic. I just heard that wrong.
And you know geography.
I just heard it wrong.
Yeah, I know. That's fine. If you really think about the old Orioles and how they kind of like pick free agents, especially free agent pitchers, he makes perfect sense with their thought process from the last couple of years and everything. Giving a guy a chance, it's got a little mileage. If he comes back strong, at one point he was well thought of, but then derailed with some injuries. But he's a perfect pick for the Orioles, number 3, whatever. But again, high upside, perfect pick for the Orioles.
No, don't hate it. Don't hate it at all. I just wish the Orioles would sign a bigger front-end pitcher, and it took you to, pick, 22 to get to an Oriole signing. That Ha-Seong Kim, very interesting, very good career with the Padres, has a little injury. Tampa Bay gives him an offer. They, I think, put him on waivers. He gets picked up with Atlanta. He declines his contract with Atlanta to hit the open market. Could play middle infield, second base, short, very good athlete. Where do you have Ha-Seong Kim going?
They're going to rethink what they did in Atlanta and get him back to the Braves.
Okay.
Because they need a shortstop so badly in the market right now. He's the best one they have.
And again, I had Bo Bichette going to the Braves.
Right.
It's a great thought process. I have my first true wild card pick. And you might just said, Patrick, you just said you alluded to the Nationals. Ha-Seong Kim to the Pirates.
Interesting.
Ha-Seong Kim to the Pirates. I believe a couple years ago they had another Asian infielder.
Yeah, you're correct.
And I'm blanking on that gentleman's name. But Ha-Seong Kim at 2 years, 36, maybe even 3 years, 50, 54. I think they don't really have anyone up the middle. He can play at shortstop. He can play at second. People can move around him.
Yeah.
I think this guy is they got rid of Brian Hayes. They don't really even have a good defender in their infield anymore. I think this guy can really shore up at least the defense part of the Pittsburgh infield next year, and I think might be able to offer him the longest contract of anyone on the market.
Good thinking. We'll see. The Pirates are out there. I mean, they got to change their philosophy, and they got to build a team. They got strong pitching, but they got to spend money. Will they do it?
I hope, or I'm wrong on the pick, Dad. Dad, JT Realmuto, first catcher we've talked about. It's only 2 catchers we'll be talking about today. It is my pick, and I have a reunion with the Phillies.
Me too.
So we have both talked in our offseason outlook, Dad. We talk about the Phillies have to go one way or the other. They have to believe that their method was right and then just bring back everybody, or let them all go, completely retool, say you were wrong, and clearly we believe these old white men can't admit that they're wrong, and they're just going to say, let's do it again, and re-sign Schwarber and re-sign Realmuto, and I'm just going to go ahead and say they're going to re-sign Bader too, but I don't want to get ahead of myself with the picks. Any reason why, Dad, do you think it's the Phillies besides make sense?
I think the pitching staff loves him. I think he's one of the true leaders of the Phillies. They would lose a lot, not only on the field, but off the field by losing him. I think he's comfortable. I just think it's one of those people that they say, hey, if we're going to compete, we need him for one of our leaders. So that it's a leadership thing.
Once you traded Logan O'Hoppe, I think that was a big sign that
good catcher.
Realmuto is going to be your catcher for years and years. So make it happen. And I don't know how many that is, 3 years, 4 years. It's not a long contract. Give the man what he wants. I think he is a good catcher. Used to be kind of fast too. I think it makes sense to stay in Philadelphia. Ryan O'Hearn, Dad, do you view him more as a DH, a first baseman, an outfielder? How do you view O'Hearn going into this offseason?
This is probably one of the picks I love the most. I have him playing more first base than the outfield, and I think he's going to a team that he could help tremendously. A couple of his teammates from the Orioles are on that team right now. I think he's destined to be in Miami.
Good pick. I view him as a DH. I don't view him as a glove guy at all. I have him replacing Marcell Ozuna in Atlanta, being the DH down there. So we were both thinking NL East, both thinking the South. Warm areas, he clearly likes San Diego. So either Atlanta or Miami for Ryan O'Hearn.
I think he's one of the unsung players on the list that last couple of years he's been a tremendous help to the Orioles, as well, and then the Orioles traded him. But I just think that he fits a lot of categories. DH, first base, he's not a great outfielder, but can be in a pinch. But I really like him going to Miami to help that, lineup each and every day.
It's a great pick. Dad, I already kind of gave away my Harrison Bader back to the Phillies pick. Who do you have?
Royals.
All right, Royals should be linked to every single damn outfielder this freaking offseason. I love that. He has some Missouri ties when he used to play in St. Louis. Love that, Dad. Do you have anything else why besides need and location?
I think he would really fortify defensively and offensively that lineup, and I think the Royals need to enhance a whole bunch about their lineup, everyday lineup. I think, is a nice leader. and I think he's really proven himself, to be a cornerstone of the lineup and a great center fielder, and would help the Royals with their defense, strong up the middle. And I think that's what you're looking for. You have him going back to the Phillies, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
I like your pick so far, Dad.
Thank you.
You're not so wild. These are very good picks. Dad, Raciel Iglesias, speaking of all these brave picks you have, he's already going back to Atlanta.
Which is a great signing by Atlanta, by the way. Great signing.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
We're getting a little silly, folks. Like I said, 8th episode, so if you're watching us, not just listening to us, I'm making a lot of faces and silliness. Dad, Nick Martinez, very interesting career. Took the qualifying offer of the Reds last year. I don't think he's returning to Cincinnati. Mm-hmm. I have him returning somewhere, though, but it's your pick.
He's going to the Red Sox.
Boston is my backup. Look at that.
Yeah.
Why Boston?
I think
just more pitching.
I think 3-4, and I think
I got to be 4.
Okay.
Yeah.
What I love about him, ground ball pitcher. He's out there every 4th or 5th day, and he's out there competing. And I think for a steadiness of their rotation, I think he's really, really important. I think he's had a good career. And I just think that he'll bring stability and somebody you can count on. As the Red Sox have gone through injuries, he's had a healthy career.
I picked Texas, which I believe he started his career with, and to be a number 3. You got DeGrom, you got Eovaldi, then you got Martinez, and then you get Leiter and Rocker, and hopefully there's your starting rotation. Hopefully it's healthy. Hopefully it's good. Just made some sense that Nicky would come back to Texas. But Boston was my number 2, my immediate backup.
Yeah.
Dad, Luis Ariz. Earlier in the day, the previous podcast, go back and listen, folks, you picked the craziest pick, I think, of your first 20 was Pete Alonso to the Reds. They do need a first baseman DH, and I have Luis Ariz being that hitter, not power hitter. I think they have some power hitters. I think Matt McClain can still be that power hitter. Ellie De La Cruz can still be that power hitter. They just need hits. They need to make those home runs count a little bit more. So when Luis Ariz gets on base, walking, slap to the left field, whatever it might be, he's perfect either, and again, in that first base or DH role. And it's, I think, way more affordable than Pete Alonso. Doesn't strike out. What else you got? Getting loopy, folks.
Great thoughts. I have him with the same thought process going to the Rangers to set up that lineup. He's been a 300 hitter for many, many years. So you can count on him getting on base, slapping it away and everything else. But the Rangers need him to, get more men on base. I think he fits Texas really well.
Where's he play in Texas? First base or DH?
Both.
So Berger and Peterson are like platooned?
Correct. And then I think, again, you're getting his bat. So you're going to figure out where he's going to be in a lineup. But leadoff hitter and go from there.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't see the need as much. I mean, who wouldn't take all the hits, but I just don't see the
Well, the Rangers
space.
need to score more runs, and I figure he can help in that regard.
Okay. I hear that. I just think if they would have to get rid of Berger. Both Berger and Peterson think they're starters.
Right.
I know that they showed that they're not last year, but Zach Littell, Dad, righty, been bounced around a couple teams, Giants, Reds. Who is he playing for in 2026?
I'm going out for a reach. The Nationals.
Okay, so the Giolito thoughts.
Yes.
That I had earlier.
Yes. Okay. Yes.
Well, this is really funny because I have Littell going to the Orioles. So
interesting.
him and Giolito switch, yeah.
Same philosophy, though.
Same thought process, yeah.
Yeah.
I thought they're very similar pitchers.
They are.
Both righties.
Steady pitchers.
Giolito has a little bit more upside, but Littell has more stability.
I agree.
Yeah, I like that. I had Washington as a backup option for Littell.
Yeah.
I had San Diego as my reach team, or maybe Houston if they haven't signed a pitcher yet. These type of starters can go anywhere, folks.
Correct. Plug and play.
Yeah, we won't spend too much time on a lot of these kind of plug and play infielders, plug and play closers, plug and play starters.
Yeah.
Speaking of plug and play closers, Dad, Ryan Helsley. He is, I think, a big drop at this point after we've done, Diaz and Williams and Suarez and in a way Iglesias. Ryan Helsley got traded midseason to the Yankees. from the Cardinals. He's not going back to, I think, the Cardinals. Is he going back to New York, Dad?
He's not.
Where's he going?
He is going to take Brad Keller's place in Chicago. He may not be the closer, but he's going to be the 7th, 8th, 9th guy.
Okay.
And I think the Cubs want to stick it to the Cardinals as much as they can. And this is a good way of doing it. A couple years ago, he was lights out.
Yep. And he has his really cool walkout music. It used to get all red in St. Louis. It was very epic at night. I see a team that needs a closer and that maybe thinks they can compete. Maybe. And it's the Arizona Diamondbacks. I think they're able to buy at sort of the margins on Helsley, 2-year deal type of thing. AJ Puck still is coming back from injury. You see an 8th inning guy, see a 9th inning guy. Is Helsley an 8th inning guy or a 9th inning guy? But having both of those sort of veteran 30-plus-year-olds in your bullpen can't hurt. And again, if the Diamondbacks just dovetail, they can maybe trade them at the deadline.
Yeah. All good thoughts.
Yeah. But I have like 2 years, like $24, $25 million. Like, it's not a lot for Helsley.
Correct, because he went down in value last year.
Yeah. Dad, Glaber signed with the Tigers.
Yes.
Which surprised me. But that leads to another former Tiger, Justin Verlander. Where is the 43-year-old pitching, if at all, in 2026?
Well, he had a good time in Houston.
He did have a good time in Houston.
So he's going back to Houston because they could use a veteran starter, and I think they will value him down there. I think he's a good fit.
You know where I think he had the best time of his career, though?
Detroit?
Detroit.
I knew you were going to say that.
I had him and Max Scherzer either considering going back to Detroit, and I went with Verlander going back to Detroit more.
I love it.
So, yeah, Justin Verlander to Detroit. 1-year deal, close out his career.
Yep.
There's, I think, the first Detroit signing I've done. But like I said, I think this team kind of does say, hey, Scooble's traded, but remember our good friend Justin Verlander. Just saying.
Yeah.
Don't hate us too much. Here's Verlander.
And you know what? It's a great fit at the back end, and for both teams. And you say, hey, listen, you help the young kids. Go out there, pitch 5-6 innings. We'll get you out of there. Finish 12-8 this year, and it's a success. Mm-hmm. So yeah,
it's crazy that Justin Verlander and Max Scherzer are so deep in our list, but it's their age.
Yeah, it is.
Dad, Cody Ponce. Not a lot of people may know who that name is.
I've done some research.
KBO guy.
Yeah.
One of those many
radio
pitchers.
Station.
One of the many pitchers that have gone over to either Korea or Japan, kind of fix their arm, fix their career, and wanted to come back in the MLB. Dad, you said you've done research. I don't know whose turn it is anymore because I lose my mind so quickly. What's your research say?
Had great success. He was a high draft choice, and then he bombed out, Tommy John, yada, yada, yada. And then all of a sudden he went there to resurrect his career, did so, and I have him coming back and pitching for the Giants. But he had phenomenal stats in Korea.
I am going to the White Sox because...
I had it number 2, White Sox.
Whoa. Mainly because the White Sox do that. The White Sox did it with Eric Fetty. So there's a proven path to, hey, we'll trade you. If you're really good, we'll take the flyer on you, capitalize for some prospects midseason, and you can go be on a winning baseball team. It's a win-win for everybody.
Yeah, and he can kind of propel his career. 1-year deal. The White Sox show himself to America, and then boom from there.
The White Sox are sort of in their own league. It's like the KBO, it's the Japanese league, then it's the White Sox, and then it's professional baseball. So you're playing the 4A team.
Yeah, and playing University of Tennessee, and you're trying to split a 3K. That's pretty good. Pretty good.
I'll pick Kyle Finnegan.
Sure.
Boy, we have Kyle Finnegan, Luke Weaver, Tyler Rogers, and Sir Anthony Dominguez coming up.
Yes.
They all the same market. They all are really high leverage relievers. I have Kyle Finnegan going to the Cubs.
Interesting. I hope that's true.
But again, I didn't have Helsley going there. So
yeah, nothing better than an Irish guy going to Chicago. I have him going to Tigers.
Okay.
Yeah.
Just again, my Tigers stuff isn't as deep, and I don't have any of those 4 relievers I just mentioned going to Detroit.
I think he ended up there. Excuse me. And then I think the Tigers bullpen could use a steady force, and he could be 7, 8, 9 as well. But I think for the most part, he likes being on a winning team, getting out of the Nationals, and I think they're going to offer him a 1 or 2 year deal, and he's going to grab it. And I think it's a great fit for both folks.
Both folks.
Both folks.
Folks, both.
Yeah, that's right.
Dad, who do you have Luke Weaver going to?
Orioles.
Okay.
As their closer.
Whoa, I don't think he's that good.
Well, he has closed before.
Yeah, so it's Finnegan and
right, but I'm just
Helsley
saying. I just think it'd be a good fit. I think the Orioles are going to be creative and try to stretch that dollar as much as they can.
I have Weaver going to the Angels. It seems that you hate all my Angel picks. I don't think you've said the Los Angeles Angels once. No, you said it once for Merrill Kelly.
Weaver used to pitch for the Angels, I believe.
Is that Jared Weaver?
I don't think so.
Okay. Well, let's go to the tape, folks.
Yeah.
We have this amazing thing called Baseball Reference.
I could be wrong, but I thought at one point, in his youth, I thought he was an Angel.
In his youth. In my youth, guys, I was an Angel. That's what I was told. Let me look. I thought he was a Diamondback, Dad. Let's look it up.
I think he was a Diamondback. Yes, he was.
He was never been an Angel.
Okay,
he was
then I'm wrong.
A Cardinal. Awful Cardinal. I don't say awful, but he wasn't that good. Then a Diamondback for a long time. Kansas City, Cincinnati, Seattle, Yankee.
Okay. I am wrong.
It's all right.
I'm thinking probably another Weaver then.
He threw 5 games for Seattle. No one remembers him as a Mariner.
Okay.
Okay. All right. Interesting pick. Tyler Rogers, that I have going back to San Francisco. It almost just seems like a natural reunion. Outside a little bit of time on the Mets, his whole career has been San Francisco as a submariner. Yeah. Or is he throwing subs to next year, Dad?
Mets.
So he stays with the Mets. Okay.
Correct.
So he's only known 2 teams no matter what.
Yeah. And I think he had success in New York.
That's interesting. I wonder if he did. I always mix him and his brother up, and I really have to always think Tyler.
And Taylor.
And Tyler throws, I always say tomato subs. I know that's not a real thing, but I have to do some alliteration in my mind, folks. Yeah. He did better in San Francisco. It was a 1.8 ERA in San Francisco last year and a 2.3. Still good in New York last year.
Yeah. And they used to call those submariners their funky pitchers.
Well, funkiness happens in San Francisco.
That's right.
Dad, the last reliever, I guess, well, not really, because we got to talk about Pete Fairbanks and Gregory Soto and Emilio Pagan. Jesus, this is all the same markets.
Yeah.
Sir Anthony Dominguez, Dad, who do you have going to?
Athletics.
The Athletics, folks. Sorry, we're really loopy. At least I am. Why the Athletics, Dad?
Well, it's 4 syllables, by the way.
Athletics? Athletics.
I'm an athlete. I just think, one, he could end up being a closer out there.
Sure.
He could probably get a decent contract, and if the Athletics don't do great, they can trade him at the deadline. But I think he wants to, close, and that's an opportunity to close.
Fair. Diamondbacks. I just think their bullpen is just shot. I think he sets up for Helsley. I think, again, these 1 year, 2 year contracts, if it doesn't work out, trade them off. But they just they got to do something, and I really didn't have them getting any offensive pieces.
Okay.
So hopefully they improve the bullpen. But, Dad, I do have Pete Fairbanks going to the A's.
Interesting.
I think they need a true closer, and Pete Fairbanks has pitched in some big games. And he just seems like an athletic to me. He just seems like who's that guy? What's he doing over there? What happened? Who do you have good old Pete going to?
Pete, Blue Jays.
Okay.
Help that bullpen, and I think at one point he was dominant. And I think he'd be a great fit for the back end of that bullpen. Don't forget the back end of the Blue Jays bullpen. They had a little trouble along the way in the playoffs. They stumbled a little bit. I think he adds stability to the back end.
Okay, don't hate it. I really am not going to fight any of these reliever picks. There's nothing that wild reliever wise so far. Dad, Gregory Soto, who do you have?
Dodgers.
I have a different Los Angeles.
Oh.
I have the Angels. Again, same situation. Just pepper that bullpen. But you're doing the same thing with the Dodgers. Pepper that bullpen.
Yeah.
We don't have to talk more about Soto. I don't have depth to him.
Well, you mean when he was in Baltimore, very hard thrower.
He had a really average year.
Yeah, but apparently throws in the upper 90s, left-handed. He doesn't know where the ball's going. His control's always been a problem. And it seems like every time he's with a team, it's always a mid-season acquisition for a left-handed, hard-throwing reliever. He just seems to go up and down. With the Orioles, I don't think he did well at all.
He was really bad with the Mets. He had a negative WAR for the Mets of just slightly above 0 WAR for the Orioles. Went 1-5. Yeah, 1-5 on the year with a 4.18 ERA.
Yeah, and a lot of it was walks. If you look
24 walks.
Yeah. In 30-some innings?
60. It's not terrible.
Yeah.
I don't think it's that terrible. He got 70 strikeouts, though, in 60 innings.
Yeah, he throws in the upper 90s.
Yeah. I had Angels for, the same reason, Luke Weaver. Just they need pitching. Dad, Emilio Pagan, could it be a closer? Could it be an 8th inning setup guy? Where's he going?
Cincinnati.
Back to Cincinnati. I have the same thing.
Yeah, all right.
Makes sense, right?
Yes.
Okay.
We're in the same thought process the whole day, by the way. This is pretty impressive.
We've had a handful of wild cards, but I think overall it's been okay.
Yeah.
I don't need to talk about Pagan, really. Do you?
Not really. I just think that, again, he's depth for the bullpen.
We'll just go with the joke. Emilio! The mighty duck, man, I swear!
Hey, what'd you say?
Tyler Mahle, back to starters, Dad.
Yes.
Where's he going?
D-backs.
I have Arizona!
Unbelievable.
Back-to-back picks. Because they need starting pitching? Is that just the logic?
And reliable.
Yep.
I think it all goes back to these guys who are 3, 4, 5, reliable, not going to get hurt. 200 innings during the year. Yep. You can count on them. 6 innings, try to get the victory. And they need starters.
Yep. Dad, Max Scherzer, for future Hall of Famer, probably last year. Where's he pitching?
He was happiest in Detroit.
So we have opposite thoughts almost on
Yep.
Maxie Max.
Yep.
Okay. So Detroit for Max. I had him as a runner-up, but I have him going to see his fellow Tennessee in San Francisco. He helps be pseudo coach. Him and Chris Bassett were on Toronto together.
Okay.
Max gets him to come to San Francisco with him. The coach of Tennessee is friends with Max Scherzer. Max gets Chris. They really get some veterans in that starting rotation.
Yeah. And San Francisco went on a limb to get a college coach with no pro experience.
Not even a minor league job.
Right. I mean, we'll see if it works out. But you got to give him credit for trying, And he'll add energy because he was a really good college coach.
Yeah. Dad, we have 2 left in the official MLB Trade Rumors top 50 before getting to our honorable mentions. Surprise, Victor Caratini is a possible starting catcher. Where's he going?
Tampa Bay.
I figured you would say that when we did our offseason outlook series that they need a catcher. I still think they trade for one. I went with the Mets because, again, I just picked the Mets for everything. I can make fun of myself, guys.
You used to make fun of me for doing that.
Do you remember when they got James McCann from Detroit? It feels kind of like that. Like they have this other catcher that they can use. They got this young guy. Francisco Alvarez is still young.
Yeah.
And you don't like Fortes apparently enough in Tampa Bay to give him a starting job.
I just think that he's a switch hitting catcher, and I think that value helps the pitching staff and the lineup. So I like that being a switch.
Oh, you wrote Patrick Metz. I was just like,
yes.
I don't know why I thought that was a full name. Like who is Patrick Metz? He's not on our honorable mention list.
You use a little profanity this little segment here. You're starting to lose it.
I think there was a beep. I think there was a cover up.
Okay.
Willie Castro, Dad, utility man extraordinaire. Where's he going?
Milwaukee Brewers.
You know what? That's fine.
Thank you.
You're so welcome. I have him going to the San Francisco Giants.
Whoa.
And I think he'll play a lot of second base. Remember I said Polanco went to
Well, he came up as a second baseman.
I know. And but again, he can play anywhere. And when injuries happen, he's a really great signing. I don't think it's a bad...
I don't think the Cubs gave him a chance.
Yeah.
And I think...
What was he, 12 games?
And he didn't even do in the playoffs. He had one at bat maybe, but they really wanted him to fill into third base, but they didn't want to pull Shaw. But they didn't put him in like every other day and all that. He got limited at bats, and they gave Minnesota a couple of very good players for 3 months of him, but they didn't give him a chance. That's a shame because athletically he's very good.
They gave up Ryan Gallagher and Sam Armstrong.
Both are good pitchers. Okay. Gallagher being the bigs in 2 years.
I just don't remember this guy getting traded at all. Anyways, he got traded.
Yeah.
They gave away everyone that day, so I'm sure it's possible that I missed a Minnesota trade. Dad, we are moving into our honorable mentions. Again, first time we're revealing this to the public. I want to list all 7 of the honorable mentions, Dad, in the order we're going to do them. We're going to talk about Paul Goldschmidt, former MVP, deserves to be talked about. Reese Hoskins. Kenley Jansen, probably future Hall of Fame Kenley Jansen. Zach Eflin, the starter. I think the only starting pitching we're talking about. Cedric Mullins, former 30-30 guy. Marcell Ozuna, power, still there, great DH. And Mike Yastrzemski, just again an outfielder who doesn't need an outfielder. Those are our 7 honorable mentions as of November 28th, 2025. Dad, Paul Goldschmidt, first baseman, great defense still, could be a DH, he's getting old, where's he going?
Cleveland. Give him a little punch.
I don't know if I love that pick. So, Kyle Manzardo switches to DH then?
Well, Goldie's probably a better first baseman.
Right.
And I think it gives Cleveland a little veteran presence, lengthens the lineup a little bit. I think he brings all that knowledge and veteran leadership to a team that could really use it. And I think, they're shook by, the suspensions they had. I think he brings a normalcy to the lineup.
I have him going back to Arizona for sort of a farewell tour. He spent most of his career there.
Yeah.
They have a glaring hole at first base.
Yeah.
And obviously Naylor didn't want to come back there.
Yeah. That makes perfect sense.
And it's either of these are 1-year contracts, right? Like both of ours. This is the last year for Paul.
Most of these are 1-year contracts where we're in right now.
I think Eflin might get more than one.
We'll see.
Yeah. But I agree. I think he's a 1-year contract. Reese Hoskins' dad, same type of player, but a little worse defensively, but maybe possibly better offensively, at least a better ceiling offensively, is Reese Hoskins. First baseman, DH maybe. Where's he going?
D-backs. Same reason for Goldschmidt.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, at least we're similar there.
Yeah.
I have him going to the Nationals. Who the hell's playing first base for these mother... You know what I'm saying? Like, who is playing first base?
Oh, boy. We got 5 to go, folks. We hope we make it.
We'll make it. So you had the same reason as Arizona.
Yeah,
I don't
first base, little pop.
Little pop.
And again, it fills a hole, and I think he's looking for playing time.
Yeah. Same thing for Washington, and it seems to be that Nationals sign a first baseman and trade him every year, right?
Yeah.
Low. I really think they should have moved Josh Bell at the deadline. I don't know how there wasn't suitors.
I don't think anybody wanted him.
That's dumb. It's still a pinch hitter that can come off your squad in the playoffs.
Yeah, but what's the price tag?
Not a lot. Pay his salary and give us a single A guy.
Well, and that's probably what would happen.
Yeah. But like Cleveland Guardians, if they thought they'd be in the playoffs, can you imagine Josh Bell in Cleveland for 2 months? Hitting 4 home runs, 8 home runs.
He'd probably been in a lineup every day.
Yeah. 3 dad is Kenley Jansen, future Hall of Famer. Where's he closing games for?
Texas.
Okay. So I think he played for Texas at some point.
He did.
Right? Yeah.
Yeah, he had success there.
I have him going to the Nationals.
Interesting.
Again, I kind of got to this list.
Nationals are just got a lot better.
I think they trade a lot. I think these are all for 1-year contracts. They traded the deadline. Because I got to this list and I realized, holy shit, the 2026 Nationals, I don't have a pick. And I went, uh-oh, they still have all these holes. So, Nationals.
Yeah.
And you think Texas goes back there, stabilizes, blah,
correct.
blah, blah.
And they have some money, and I think they need, a back end. And he may, again, swan song like we've been talking about. So
I think he's got more than that left.
Well, maybe 1 or 2. But don't forget, he's in his upper 30s.
I think he's only like 35.
Let's find out. I bet you $1 he's more upper 30s than mid 30s. $1.
How about this? I get 35 and under. You get 36 and over.
Yes.
I'll even do this. 35. Nobody wins.
Okay.
Because that's a middle number.
Okay.
34 and younger.
You.
36 and older.
Yeah.
35.
$5?
$5.
$5.
$5.
All right. I got $5, folks.
That's okay, folks. Let's see what it is. I think he's like 34 years old.
Nope.
He came up early. He came up as a catcher. Came up as a catcher for the Dodgers.
I was going to say.
You are so right, and I am so wrong publicly.
Yeah, baby.
The mother is 38 years old.
Uh-huh. You know, you're going to have to start listening to him.
Damn. First off, his middle name's Geronimo. Well, we should call him that more.
Well, or especially if you're on a cliff.
Ha 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 ha. By the way, he is the leader all time
in saves.
No, not saves. In games finished, which I don't know how he beat Mariano Rivera. Is that not? Oh, it's not gold. I'm sorry. He's currently active players, most games finished, but he has 476 saves. Terrible WAR. He's going to be the lowest WAR guy in the Hall of Fame. But
he's blown some saves.
Those saves.
Yeah, but when he was with the Dodgers, he was pretty damn good.
You know, he was never with Texas. We thought he was.
Huh.
Dodger until Atlanta, then Boston, then the Angels. I don't know why I thought he was a Ranger too.
Me too.
Well, moving on from that.
Yeah. All right.
Kenley Jansen, $5 to you post.
Yes.
Thing. That's okay. I'm getting hungry, folks. For that, our only starter, that's an honorable mention, Zach Eflin.
You know, he's going to be in the Mid-Atlantic area. He's going to be the Nationals.
Okay, that's fine. Again, he joins for you, Zach Littell.
Yeah. And again, they're playing, half a year and maybe get traded.
Yeah. I have Eflin going to the Padres.
Okay. When he's on, he's a pretty good pitcher.
Yeah, I think it's a great deal for them. I think people sleeping on Zach Eflin doesn't really make sense. And I want to say he has some connection to that area. Let me see. He was originally drafted by the San Diego Padres.
Okay.
So I think they have a little bit of a homecoming with him, and he fills out that rotation with a little stability.
So they must have traded him before he got to the big leagues.
That's correct.
Okay.
He was part of... Double down. Who was he part of the trade? He was part of the Matt Kemp trade that went to the Dodgers.
Okay.
And then he got traded... Wow, this is incredible.
Dodgers to the
He got traded
Tampa
the
Bay.
next day. It's fun. To the Dodgers to the Phillies for Jimmy Rollins.
Okay.
And then... Whoa, that's so interesting. And then how did he... Was he a Philly for a while? Oh, yeah, he was a Philly for a while.
Yeah. During the playoff years.
Yeah, he was a Philly for a long time, and then a Ray.
Yes.
And then an Oriole.
Yep. Makes sense.
Yeah. Okay, look at that. Yeah, he was a Philly for 7 years. Would have got that trivia wrong.
Right, and I think he was number 3.
Sure. Yeah, I don't remember him doing... He had one winning season in those years with the Phillies. San Diego. That's who I have.
Okay.
5. Guys, we have 3 picks left. Stay with us. Dad.
3 like that?
The German 3. Cedric Mullins, Dad. Who do you have?
Angels.
I have the Angels. Get out of town. They need a center fielder, huh?
Yes, they do, huh?
Huh? Huh? God, I'm sure we're annoying to these folks that are still listening to us. Thank you for your support, people at home. Is that your first Angel pick, Dad?
No, I think I had one other.
No, you had Merrill Kelly.
Yeah.
All right. Because they need a center fielder to complement Trout
And at top of the order.
Yeah, I hope that he can still hit, but he has proven not that well.
I mean, he came up with some power for a while and all that good stuff, but he's still a damn good center fielder.
I thought that was going to be such a good pick. And you're like, I beat you to it. Marcel Ozuna, Dad. Where's he DHing?
Kansas City.
Get out of town! I have Kansas City as well because they need hitter. They need a hitter. They need to support Bobby Witt.
He could go clean up.
Sure, put him anywhere.
Yeah, he protects Witt.
Sure. To close it out, Mike Yastrzemski.
Pirates.
I did have him as a pirate option, but I had Detroit.
Okay.
But so you had Yastrzemski. I like Pirates for him, actually. That's pretty good. Why did I not pick the damn Pirates? Oh, I had Starlin Marte going too. We didn't.
Okay.
That's okay.
And you had we're going Yaz went to what team again?
Detroit.
Okay.
And again, kind of being, I don't know, a third or fourth outfielder. Carpenter, I don't know. Is he the DH? So Maybe he's
I
DH.
think we're going to get double-digit, wins this year.
That means we won, folks. Hubris. I like the
No,
last.
we
We
made
went
some
on a
good
run
picks.
there.
Yeah.
Angels, Mullins, Ozuna, Royals, and then very similar minds on Yastrzemski, just being a needed outfielder on a
Yeah.
team. A lot of one-year contracts. Yeah, this was a fun honorable mentions.
Yeah.
All right, Dad, we did this last time. What? I'm gonna have two questions for you,
Sure.
and I'll answer. One's easy, and the one's requires a little bit of thought. Favorite pick that the other person made that you really like. We'll start doing that in this second half, obviously.
Okay.
And it can't be, something we have in common.
Let me look. I really like the Verlander to Detroit. And just for, wrapping up his career and all that stuff. I like that a lot.
Okay.
And let me look. I like Willie Castro going to San Francisco a lot. But I'm going Verlander.
I'll pick Bader to the Royals. I really like that idea. If Philly's unable to do it, Casey was on my list because of during COVID he was a Cardinal and he was a registered substitute teacher in the state of Missouri. I think that's kind of cool.
What he did with the kid this year too.
Yeah, I think him and Witt would get along. I like that fit a lot.
And he's a tremendous athlete, by the way.
Yes, this is a deeper thought one, Dad.
Okay.
Not top 50, not our honorable mentions. A player that we didn't talk about, so like the second tier honorable mention list, basically. Who do you think that is? Pick a player that we didn't talk about that are like, how do we not talk about blank? And then pick a team for that player.
Okay.
Start thinking, I'll go.
Okay.
For me, it's Tyler Anderson. I think Tyler Anderson has been a really good pitcher these past couple of years for both LA teams. Him not even being chosen as honorable mention from us or being in the top 50, I still can't believe Victor Carantini is in the top 50 and not some of these other players we mentioned. I think Tyler Anderson is a Brave. I think they rebuild him. I think he's healthy. I think they look at what they did with Chris Sale. I think they're able to really tap into a cheap Tyler Anderson, like a 1 year 14, 1 year 15, and really get a incredible lefty reliever. Clearly, they worked the same thing with Sale, but I think he becomes like a very healthy, stable spot in their rotation.
Mine's Nestor Cortez,
Okay.
Orioles.
Sure.
And I think he's got a great knowledge of the American League. He's kind of stumbled a little bit, but they get him back. He is a formidable left-hand starter for a team that needs a good left-handed starter, 3, 4, 5, and even long man in the bullpen. So I think he's very valuable. So I think the Orioles could really lose somebody like that. That's my surprise pick.
And again, Nestor Cortez is very similar to Tyler Anderson, where both lefties,
Yes.
not mentioned on this list. And yeah, I'm happy. I'm very pleased with my co-host research, his dedication to our craft, and I think it'll be really fun to see how many we get right. I don't want to say what he said and have some hubris that we're going to get double digits. My logic makes sense, but again, each player has 30 options, and once dominoes start falling, we could be wrong and mismatch so many.
But I bet you we had 5 or 6 similar picks.
Well, why don't you say something to the good folks while I count those up? And if you would like to have your little sign-off or anything that you would like to say to the good people.
You know what? It's been the favorite thing that I do each and every year, to spend time with my son, to talk about baseball. It's very rewarding, and I hope I can do this for many, many more years. But this is fun. If we can get a sponsor and get paid for this, that'd be even better. So people
Reach out.
But people are out there that would love to sponsor us. We're unique. We're the father and son pastime podcast. So if you would like to sponsor us, contact me. I have a little more time than Patrick does, so that'd be great. But it's our pleasure to do this. We have a ball doing it, and it kind of keeps us together for the year to exchange notes and everything else. So it keeps us bonded.
8. We had ESPN 8, the Ocho similarities.
Whoa!
So
I think it's as many as we've ever had.
Check the videos, folks.
Yeah, go back.
Do our work for you and let us know.
Yeah.
And I don't know, we'll figure something out.
Yeah, that's great.
But thank you all for watching. Over this next week, we're going to upload 7 hours of material for you to listen to. This is our big increase when it comes to subscribers, likes, and comments. We get some of our best traffic during this time, as people need something to listen to in between the holidays, I guess. Happy to be that. Happy to be on your big TVs or your small tablets and smartphones. That's fine by us. Again, if you've listened to all these videos, please subscribe, like, interact with us at Pastime Podcast _ on Twitter and Instagram, and the Father and Son Pastime Podcast on YouTube and Facebook. Thank you, Dad. Best day of our podcast year.
Yeah.
Love to have this guy as my partner and co-host for years to come.
And our goal is get over 100 subscribers by Christmas.
Sure. I'll say the end of the year. Maybe we'll get some bored people around his birthday.
Yeah.
But thank you for watching. Tell your friends about this, especially if we really infuriated you or those guys have a lot of good takes. Whatever your thought process is, we appreciate every share and referral you guys give us.
And we hope we made you smile a few times.
Oh, yeah. We had so many fake F-bombs that just got dropped. Got to be a record. Somebody check that, too, in the 150-plus episodes.
You had 2 that came out.
I'm sure I did. I'm tired, folks. We're going to take a break and may not record until next year. But thank you all, and we appreciate you.